This video is brought to you by NordVPN. See the link in the description to get a big 75% discount for a limited time only. That's only $2.99 a month for the early VPN to get a perfect score from PC Mag. Given only a year left to live, Metal Gear Solid 4 sees a prematurely aging Snake take on his longtime nemesis Liquid Ocelot in his final mission. The final chapter in Solid Snake's story tried to tie up as many loose ends in the Metal Gear saga's narrative as possible, with series creator Hideo Kojima seemingly trying to give fans as much closure as possible. This resulted in a big surprise during the game's ending, with Solid Snake's father, Big Boss, not only making an appearance after his supposed death, but also meeting his son face to face. The pair discuss all of the events that had transpired and finally set aside their differences, bringing about a culmination to a nearly 20-year conflict and battle. "Let it go, my son," Big Boss tells Snake, and they embrace each other in a hug. The soldiers and former rivals exchange words of respect during this meeting, and Big Boss, unable to light his own cigar, is aided by Snake, who dutifully lights it for him and places it in Big Boss's mouth. This scene is emotional in English, but in the original Japanese version it's even more so. This isn't down to any differences in the script or visuals however, but due to the casting decision Hideo made for Big Boss's voice actor. You see, in the Japanese version of Metal Gear Solid 4, Big Boss is voiced by the late Chikao Osuka. Conversely, Solid Snake's voice actor is Akio Osuka. Notice the identical surnames. Akio is Chikao's real-life son, with both of them being well-known and accomplished voice actors in Japan. This father and son relationship mirrors the events in game perfectly and makes the scene extra special. However, that's far from all. The circumstances between the voice actors were actually even more similar to the games than just being father and son. The pair had actually fallen out and not spoken to each other in years. Hideo then got wind of this and casted Akio's father for the role to try and help patch things up. His plan proved to be successful, and it led to the Japanese version being that much more memorable. The English version, however, had no special significance with its voice actor casting, with Big Boss being voiced by Richard Doyle, who has no known relationship with Snake's voice actor David Hayter. This may also be the reason why Solid Snake says he has a problem with Sonic the Hedgehog in the crossover game Super Smash Bros. Brawl. When using the codec whilst fighting Sonic, Snake will repeatedly say that he doesn't like him, but when pressed for an explanation, he says he doesn't have one, but there's just something about him he doesn't like. In the Japanese version, however, Snake's voice actor's father is famous for being the long-running voice actor for Dr. Eggman, Sonic's nemesis, which may have been what Snake is referring to. This isn't the only time that there's been some interesting differences between the Japanese and English voice acting, however. For example, a big difference can be found in Metal Gear Solid 2, where the main antagonist, Solid Snake, is voiced by the same voice actor as Solid Snake in the Japanese version.
Solid Snake.
In the English release, he has a different voice actor completely.
No, not just around here. I'm the boss to surpass Big Boss himself. Solid Snake. No, that is not Solid Snake.
This also ties well into the story, with Solid Snake being said to actually be Solid Snake for a portion of the game. To add to this, when Raiden teams up with the real Solid Snake, Solid has his identity disguised and uses a different name, leaving the player to question what exactly is going on, and in the Japanese version, with the shared voice actors between Solidus and Solid, even more so. What do you think about these casting decisions in the Japanese version, and would you like to see more videos on Metal Gear? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos on how video games and other media are changed around the world. Until next time, thank you for watching.